Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Thea George and I'm here with Martin Coen of Dovetail. We're at EBA Day 2016 in Milan and we are discussing some of the key takeaways from a session in which he earlier participated about new payment strategies. Martin, thank you for joining me. So one of the key topics discussed today was obviously real-time payment systems. What do you see as some of the opportunities for banks as we move into the instant payments world?
So I think we're at a really interesting time in the market. Payments has been the other side of almost everything we do in trade and commerce, paying salaries, in treasury movements. And increasingly the world has gone online in real time, other than the payment rails. So the move now to standardized, instant real-time payment rails for clearing and settlement is having a big transformation effect on the way that banks can develop their ecosystem and connect into the world of online that's been there all this time. So we see examples that are beginning to be developed now and talked about, like requests for payment, like the increasing use of e-commerce and it fitting to the enriched data that's now available. So I think we're in a position now where finally payments could be a first-class citizen in what really has been an online world for quite some time.
So how do you think the banks can justify the spend on some of these new capabilities?
I think the world is becoming much more fast-paced and moving at a different pace, and that requires the banks to think a little differently in how they invest and how they look going forwards. Now, I think key to a successful strategy for a bank is to focus on banking, to focus on risk and liquidity and how they pull that together. And there's a lot of innovation around fintech in front of banking and connected to the way the banks will operate, but I think it's important for the banks to see where they play in that space. So if you likened it to the internet boom, when that came about, banks really should be thinking of themselves more like a Cisco in that world, providing the platform on which others are doing innovation, rather than being a pets.com or one of the websites that came and went in a short period of time. Now I think that has then an impact on the way banks need to think about investment and how they move forward, and there really are then two streams of investment. One at a very strategic level, to be thinking about modernizing their payment systems, in simplification of the infrastructure and ensuring resilience, that they have a platform year on year that is more capable of living and behaving well in a fast changing world. And then really a second stream around getting product to market much more quickly than they did before. And I think that's where the advantages of PSD2 and the leverage they can bring through PSD2 come into account, where the banks are able to then participate in a much more open ecosystem and to really take advantage of innovation that's happening in smaller companies as well as within themselves.
Martin, this has been great. Thanks again.
Pleasure.
And thank you for watching.